Welcome back to Unscripted. I'm happy to be joined by head basketball coach for the University of Minnesota, Richard Pitino. Richard, great to see you, buddy.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Good to see you.
Hey, one of the things about this whole lockdown thing, it impacts everybody's family. But one of the things I love about you is your Twitter feed, and you have so much fun with your kids. Tell us about what's been going on for you and your family during this lockdown.
Yeah, I mean, you got to make light of it, right? I mean, you got to have some fun with it. We try to laugh to the best we can. And, my son, Jack, it was just his birthday. So his new thing now, he's really into wrestling. And so we got the Xbox going and we got him the wrestling game. And I tell you what, we tell him every day, you can't wake up till your light hits green. Like we have this red, yellow, green thing. We set it at 6:45. And come 6:45, he's right there, right in my face saying, let's go play Xbox. But it's been fun. I mean, I got a bike so that me and Ava, my 8-year-old, can ride around the neighborhood. That's been awesome. And then, the little ankle biter, my 3-year-old Zoe is always around you. But you know what? I'll tell you this, like for a college basketball coach, we don't get a lot of time off because off season's recruiting. It's not like the pros where there's maybe a month or two where you get a break. I mean, certainly those guys are doing a lot, but it's been nice. I mean, it's been somewhat, you got to get creative, especially with little kids, because if you don't occupy the only answer to, teaching your kids is occupying their time. And so these teachers deserve a raise. I do know that because they're unbelievable.
You're bringing in a couple really nice pieces, Richard. You're bringing in Liam Robbins, who's going to transfer in, and then Brendan Johnson as well from Western Michigan. Talk about your program right now and how this process, this situation during this lockdown has been, and adding these two nice pieces this year.
Well, first and foremost, I mean, Daniel going to the NBA will be back-to-back players coming out of our program, back-to-back Minnesotans that are going to go on to the NBA. So we're proud of that. Anytime you lose a player to the NBA, it's kind of a dream for everybody because, you start this process early in high school and you sell what you hope you can do to not only win, which we've been able to do the last 3 years going to the NCAA tournament, but then advance their careers. And that helps in recruiting. It may hurt your roster a little bit from a talent standpoint when you lose a guy to the NBA. But, proud of Daniel to be, first All-American 21 years at Minnesota. I mean, it was just special. So we have to replace him with some good quality players. We feel like we've done that. Liam Robbins was one of the most highly sought-out transfers in the country. Yeah. Obviously, we have a family connection with Ed Conroy on the staff and Hunt Conroy on the team. But I'm not so sure we get Liam unless he sees the job that we did with Daniel. It worked out great. We're hopeful that he plays this year. I mean, there's so much uncertainty, not only in the world, obviously with what we're dealing with, but in college basketball, they're going to vote at the end of May to allow transfers to get a one-time waiver to play right away. Well, if that does happen, we believe we've got one of the best bigs in the country. And I know you can appreciate that. I mean, he's just a talented player. So we'll wait and see on that. But again, there's so much uncertainty with rosters even moving forward. Brandon Johnson was another guy. With losing Alihan, we needed some physicality. We needed somebody who can bang at the Big Ten level. And, he was a guy that we had to beat out a lot of really good schools for. And I think he saw the need and the fit. So he reminds me a little bit of Jordan Murphy, Eric Curry type player. He can step out. He can rebound the ball. He plays hard. He's relentless. Now we need to add one more guy, but we're being patient. Again, kind of like I talked about before with all these uncertainty. We can't be in a rush.
Hey, real quick, how excited are you? I'm excited about your dad coming back to college basketball, going to Iona. How excited is the family, and how excited is your dad about that opportunity?
I'm really excited for him. Anytime you're a leader of something and something bad happens in your program, certainly you should be held accountable, and he was. But there's a difference between being held accountable and being the person who did something, if that makes sense. So he took his medicine, so to speak, as a bad golfer like myself, and he went to Greece because he loves to coach. And I love this because I was the head coach at FIU for a year, and I'm not saying that coaching in Minnesota isn't fun, but it's different when you're at that lower level and there's not as much media scrutiny, there's not as much fan scrutiny. There's a little bit of purity to it. So he's going back to where he started. I mean, this is a guy who coached the New York Knicks. He's now going to coach Iona College. He's pumped about it. That's his roots right there. I know, he's down in Florida right now. He still hasn't been up there. But his passion for it it's remarkable. I mean, at 67 years old, he's still got a joy and a love for being on the court, and he can't wait to get back. So I'm so happy for him.
Hey, Richard, we'll have to get on the golf course this summer. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you soon, buddy.
Absolutely. Love to do it. Thanks for having me.
That's it for this